This is the second time I have recorded this because the first time the glare on my glasses was so bad I could not edit the footage. And I could just take my glasses off, but then I can't see. It's just not going to happen. We need to talk about Slaughterhouse Five. I realize that I am probably the last person of advanced age on the planet that has not read this book. But I have read this book now. For it to be the first book that I decided to read, purely just out of the air, I decided, you know what, I'm going to read Slaughterhouse Five. I hit it out of the park. This book is amazing and fabulous, and all of the other words that are used to say that things are great. I fell in love with it. It is probably the best thing that I think I've ever read. I realize that coming from someone that just reads nonfiction, that's not really saying a lot. Oh man, but this is great. So I did a thing. I chose the book and I didn't do any research about it. I didn't search anything. I didn't Google anything. I decided that I would leave all of that until the end. Once I was done, then I'm going to go back and read about the book and through all of the stuff that everybody has to say about it. And I think that that needs to be a rule for me going forward. I am going to look up enough to know the gist of the book, what the book's about, and that's it. Then once I'm done reading the book, then we go back and we do all of the Googling and all of the looking and researching and things like that. Rule number one. This book has been banned multiple times. It has been on multiple ban lists many, many, many times. In fact, in 1973, this book was actually burned. In Drake, North Dakota, 32 copies of Kurt Vonnegut's Slaughterhouse Five were burned. I don't think that video number 2 is going to be the time and the place for me to go on about the First Amendment and our right to free speech and our right to freedom of artistic expression, but I have a very good feeling as this project goes along that that is going to be something that I do that is very, very needed. I thought that I was just reading an anti-war novel, and it is an anti-war novel, but it is also a novel about aliens and time travel. And that is something that I had no idea was the main gist of this book. That's half of this book, aliens and time travel for the protagonist, Billy Pilgrim. What? Wow. And then again, after reading the book, I went through and did some reading about it. And aliens and time travel is a recurrent theme in several of Vonnegut's books. It's aliens and time travel, the city of Ilium, which I thought was part of your colon, but it's actually part of your hip bone. That is not a real city. It is a fictional city. It is probably Schenectady, New York. There's some recurrent characters in a couple of his novels, one of which is a science fiction author named Kilgore Trout, and then another recurrent character named, I have notes. I took notes, y'all. Another individual named Elliot Rosewater. So let's talk about this book and let's talk about the background. To give a little bit of history just about Vonnegut in general, he was in the military. He was in World War II. He served from January 1943 through June of 1945. And in December of 1944, his unit was captured and Vonnegut was a POW in Dresden, Germany. And so that tracks with our protagonist in this book, Little Billy Pilgrim. Vonnegut says all of this happened, more or less. The war parts, anyway, are pretty much true. He has changed the names of the people that he knows that he is writing about. So the names have been changed to protect the innocent. This jumps around in time. We do not go from the beginning point A to the end point B. It is time skips and time jumps. We learn about Billy Pilgrim's life. We learn about the bad things, the good things. We learn about his family. We learn about the war. And then being abducted by aliens and being in a human zoo for aliens to observe and living life through there, which from the reading of it arguably seems like it was a better life for Billy Pilgrim than the life that was on the earth. There's a recurrent phrase that Vonnegut uses in this book that Billy Pilgrim says, "So it goes." "So it goes" is used after every mention of death in the book. After he sees a corpse, after someone dies, so it goes. All he thinks is that the dead person is in a bad condition in that particular moment. But the same person is just fine in plenty of other moments. Okay, so then I Googled "so it goes," and everybody is analyzing the phrase "so it goes." Ultimately, I don't know why there needs to be that much discussion about it. You are dead in one world, in one lifetime, and in an alternate universe, in an alternate line, in another time and place, everything is fine. Everything is perfectly fine. We're all gonna die. People die. Sorry to be the bearer of horrible bad news. And the concept of time travel is, at the very same time, they're alive and well. My heater just clicked on. It's like 20 degrees outside. Oh. So this is an amazing little book. The copyright to it is 1969. During its publication, the Vietnam War is also going on. It is very much an anti-war book, but it is very much also a book about aliens and time travel. It's funny. It is not a knockdown, drag you down to the depths of war and how war is hell. It's entertaining. It is great. I absolutely fell in love with it. And now I have to figure out what book comes next. What follows this? I have some Russian literature. I have some Ray Bradbury. I have American Psycho by Bret Easton Ellis, which I thought about. Now in hindsight, should I do Less Than Zero first, since technically that movie came out before American Psycho? I also have a current novel, The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue, which was recommended to me. So if you have made it this far in the video, you should probably like and subscribe, because this is how it is. There's going to be other favorites. There's going to be books that are good. There's going to be books that are okay. There's going to be books that are probably so bad that I don't finish them. But this will now go on the list of my favorite books. And right now it is my favorite book, and it holds that honor. I'll see you next time.